Hi guys, welcome to today's reading on what your spirit guides want you to know at this time. So we have 4 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 is going to be this angelite stone with self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Group 2, domestic harmony, and this polychrome jasper. Group 3 is discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to with this lapis lazuli. And group 4 is going to be this bloodstone with manifestation in reverse. So go ahead and select your pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, welcome group 1 to your reading with this angelite stone. And okay, so we're going to talk about what your spirit guides want you to know at this time. So right off the bat, I'm going to say right as I was about to start this reading, like I just got this feeling of just nervousness, like a nervous feeling, and then I got cold as if like, and I heard like, getting cold feet. So maybe that's going to be relevant for you in this message. So what your spirit guides want you to know. So first of all, with the angelite stone, your guides really want you to connect with them because like it's like they really want to work with you. They want not just work with you through what they want you to create and put out there, which I'm going to get into that in a bit, but more so so that they can really support you every step of the way. And I think that is the biggest or the first thing that really has to be said. With communion here and the Ace of Wands in reverse, with communion, both are in reverse, and I just feel like it's like they want to be in communion with you. They want to support you in ways where you can feel when you can look around and you can sense like that they're communicating with you, that they're sending you messages, that there's synchronicities, there's things lining up. It's like taking a chance and things working out. And then them wanting to guide you along the way, because it's like with this Ace of Wands, it's like you're being offered this creative, passionate, inspired new beginning, but it's almost like you're offered it, but you don't know what to do with it. So there's almost like this rejection of it on the basis of many things, but a big part is like they want you to, because it's like this is an intuition that comes in and they want you to go the distance with it. This is really about going the distance, but you need to be in communication with your guides in order to be supported along the way. And I think that there's some definite blocks on this for you, and a big part, like right smack in the center, the card that you selected was self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So this is obviously, to me, something, you're a creative person, or you're someone who is unique in some sort of way. We're all unique. I mean, we all have gifts, right? That we've been given and that we're meant to, develop, to cultivate, and then to also share and benefit others as well, right? And that's pretty much what it says right here. So, with the self-esteem card, I see that this ties in very much to, not really going the distance with like this inspiration that comes to you on what it is that you need to be doing or moving forward with. And a big part has to do with your sense of self-esteem, allowing yourself to be seen, acceptance, embrace who you are. Here we have the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. So it's like there's this aspect of your self-esteem where you don't necessarily want to be seen. You don't want to, either you don't want to embrace your gifts, or you don't think that you have gifts, or you look at other people and you sort of see what they have and you're like, oh, like that's really cool. Like whatever gifts that you see in other people that you admire, you have those same gifts in yourself. Maybe not those exact same qualities or characteristics or gifts, but you have your own gifts that you've been gifted. We all have our gifts. And so you know, your guides, with an injustice here. I said injustice, but justice in reverse. It's, it's like an injustice. Like they're seeing, and when I'm saying injustice, I'm feeling like it's a lack of balance, right? Because here we have the Two of Cups, and then here we have the Six of Pentacles. So these are all about balance, justice. You have the scale here. With this card here, you have the scale right here. And with the Two of Cups, it's really about mutual beneficial relationships and things like that, partnerships, harmony, mutually beneficial. And I just really see what I'm seeing right now is like these gifts that you have are meant to be shared with others, right? And this is going to be like your offering to the world and to other people. And when you're able to share that with others, and you're able, and it's something that's unique to you, and it's something that is a gift of you, it's something that you are completely in flow with, when you are gifting it to others, it's like a tree and a human with oxygen and carbon dioxide. It's like they're both relying on each other. They're both giving and taking. It's like this flow back and forth, and it's effortless. And so, really stepping into these gifts, these soul gifts, or these gifts that you have, it's like there's going to be this exchange that happens between you and other people. And it's going to feel effortless. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel amazing. And I think a big part is really acknowledging that you have really amazing gifts. And I don't know if lately, I don't know why I want to say this, like if you know what your gifts are, or if you feel like you know what they are, but you don't necessarily want to put yourself out there like that. Because, okay, with this example of this flower here, I know the book talks about, just flowers in bloom, So maybe this is, again, your guys want this is your time. And we have balance here again. So balance, 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 and balance. So there's a lot of balance that we're talking about. And when we're talking about balance, I'm talking about that mutual exchange, that back and forth. That free flow of movement. I think that spirit really wants you to get into. And it's not only going to help you with your creative, so with light your fire right here. Oh man, look at this with the volcano. So she's like the goddess of volcanoes, and you could just see how like there's stuff like beneath the surface that just wants to come out. It's almost like I have a explosive tattoo on my neck, and I'm just visualizing it right now. So it's like things that are like under pressure and then wanting to just come out. And I think that definitely relates to what's within you. And also with this flowers, it's like when flowers bloom, it's like a burst of energy, a burst of passion, just a burst that's beneath the surface that really, really wants to come out. And I feel that it's like this Ace of Wands. They want your guides want you to take it and go the distance. I just keep getting go the distance, And a big part is just starting with East emergence. Okay, it's just starting. It's that initial spark, taking that spark. And there's a lot of okay, with waxing crescent moon. Okay, so this is like the first phase after the new moon, right? So the new moon is like you could just set your intention, like, hey, I'm gonna start trying to do this. All you have to do is really set your intention. The East is like new beginnings, sunrise. And then with waxing crescent moon, I'm getting that like you just have to take the first steps. It's a step by step process. So it's really taking the initiative, taking the first little steps that you need to do. And then from there, it's just taking any sort of action that you can do, that comes to mind for you to do, that you're inspired to do. Take that action. And then from there, it's like, just start paying attention. Start paying attention to things around you, and you're going to be guided along the way, And these 3 cards right here, with the hedgehog, embracing who you are, your self-esteem, and this unique nature, let yourself be seen. Just be mindful that maybe there is a part of you that wants to, go back in its shell. Because I'm thinking of the hedgehog when it feels like it's under attack. It like rolls into a little ball, and then it's just all like prickly on the outside. So be mindful of when you want to do that, when you just want to go into hermit, and just really pull back, and then maybe just ask yourself well, what is this? Because there's this, okay, to me, these 2 cards are like opposites in the sense that I'm getting this message is, one, when a flower blooms, it just opens up, right? It just opens up, and it's time, it's season, it's time for it to bloom, and it opens up and it stays open until the petals fall off, and it goes into fall or whatever, right? Whereas the hedgehog, if it feels under threat or whatever, it just closes up, it goes straight into a ball. And so while we are talking about acceptance, there's also this idea to stay open, right? You may have this tendency to retreat, to go into a ball. And that isn't to say that you shouldn't, take time for yourself and have self-care, but it's just talking about who you are, and allowing yourself to be seen is regardless of what's going on around you, regardless of who's around you. You're not going to close your petals. You're not going to go back into a bud, right? Because with this East and new beginnings, it's this bud, and then now you want to, so this goes almost in order. So it's like the sunrise. So this is the emergence. Then this is the beginning, the intentions. This is taking the initiative. And then this is the bloom, right? And once you're bloomed. It's open. You cannot go back. You cannot retreat back. So there's this sense here that I feel like your guides, your higher self knows that it is your time right now. It knows that it's your time. And the reason why, sorry, I just hit the thing. The reason why I say that is because you have the Ace of Swords in reverse and Judgment in reverse. And the Judgment card, I always associate this with the higher self. And because it's in reverse, it's like your inner self, your inner judgment, there's a calling within you. It's like this trumpet, it's like this calling that's happening for you to transform, for you to awaken. The word is even right here, for you to awaken. The Ace of Swords in reverse, this has to do with your inner truth, that you know this, and that this Two of Cups, it's it's time for you to really step into who you are, so then that you could really make a difference in the world, and to really be in this flow, this flow with the universe, not just with communicating and communing with your guides, because they are going to lead you, but also in the grander scheme of, it could be of just being in service, right? Again, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So this isn't just for you, right? This is for other people as well, right? Partnerships, harmony, peace. This is for other people as well. It's your guides want you to know that this isn't just for you, it's also for others, right? But this is such a huge change for you with the Tower in reverse. This is such a huge change, and I think the biggest change is really stepping into, because I'm seeing this with this again back here with communion and the Ace of Wands in reverse, is it's a huge change to take this leap. I feel like it's a leap of faith, And it's not easy. It's not easy to just set your intention and then start taking steps, right? There's this big, here we have the failure card. There's this big fear, or, the mind is going to be like, well, if I do this and I start investing my time, I start investing my money, I start taking these chances, I start, maybe I'm going to have to give this up. I give that up, and it's not a guarantee. What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out for me? What if this was a poor investment? What if I'm kind of crazy? What if I'm making this stuff up? All these omens, these signs, these synchronicities, that is the universe trying to come in and guide me and support me along the way, which is actually very real stuff. But it's like sometimes our mind wants to tell us that, especially depending on what sort of background we come from, right? That it's just a completely different way. So could be this fear because we're human, right? We don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste our resources. Like, there's a finite amount that we have to work with, and depending on our responsibilities and things like that. So it's like, yeah, I'm getting something with this. Yeah, so there's something about, because these cards are actually, this is the six. I mean, they're obviously different decks. This is like the Seven of Pentacles, and this is the Six of Pentacles. So I'm just getting something, and even his scale is off balance, and then something with failure here. Anyways, I'll come back to that. But anyway, so your guides really, I guess they really just want you to know that this is really also for others as well. This isn't a selfish thing that you're doing. It is also for the benefit of you, the benefit for others, and it is a very new way of thinking, and a new way of being. Here you have choose a new direction. I mean, that one is like so clear, right? This is very, very clear. And it's almost like they're wanting to show you as well. Like, maybe some of you don't know exactly what that direction is, or how it's going to unfold. And it's almost like, see how they have their hand around? It's like the angel right here. They have their hand and they're pointing over there. They're like, we'll show you the way. And but it's all based on your free will, right? It's your free will. They can show you, they can guide you, but ultimately it's your choice. Do you want to be open to it? Do you want to challenge some of the old ideas, the old thinking that you have around how you view yourself? And sometimes it's like, with when it comes to the way that we think, it is hard, it is difficult to change. And I'm just hearing right now, it's like you have to act as if you have to. It's not even fake it till you make it. But sometimes it's like, with taking this initiative, it's really just showing to the universe, showing to spirit, like, I made this intention. Now I'm going to go and take these tiny little steps. And it doesn't have to be huge steps. It's just these tiny steps that you take. And it's like it's like when you start to do those things, and then it's like your brain is like, and it becomes easier and easier over time. It's like your brain has that, what is it called, like neuroplasticity, where it wants to serve you, right? So it's like, okay, now I can start, now this is okay. It doesn't feel so awkward, it doesn't feel so uncomfortable, to allow people to see me in this way. At first it's like you're going to be like this hedgehog. You're just going to want to, go into this protective little ball. But over time, you're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. My brain was just trying to protect me by thinking making me think that it was bad, but now it's starting to adapt to these new behaviors. I'm hearing like CBT, is that cognitive behavioral therapy? Yeah. I don't know if it's that or DBT, but one of them talks about how when you change certain behaviors, it changes your, the way that you think, which it's like, it all like it loops together, right? And so like, I see that with the solar plex, is about, your personal power, your confidence, your willpower, your drive, your determination, um, all of those things, you know. So this is like, again, ties into your self-esteem, right? Your sense of personal power, um, knowing who you are and what our let me read this. I think this is relevant. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So again, this goes back to what I was talking about, this Two of Cups over here, about, who you are, the gifts that you have, that you are meant to cultivate, that you're meant to embrace, that, that the things that you recognize in other people and admire in them, those are things that you have, and that these are meant for you to, like, almost, yeah, to embrace who you are, to love yourself, and then to share it with others, and it's like, that's going to bring you peace. That is going to bring you peace, probably the peace that you've been looking for and that you've been wanting. Because again, with this awakening now, for some, I when I put this down, I put it upright, all I can see is awakening, acceptance. Again, here we have the word acceptance and awakening. Your higher self is calling you to do this, to be who you are, to stand in who you are, to be unique. And you have multiple talents. You're not just like a, what was I going to say, a one show pony, or a one-stop shop. I don't know what the word is. Something like that. You're not like you have many gifts, many gifts. And so I'm going to just touch on that many gifts thing, is like, just set any, they're like, choose a new direction, right? That's what your guides are saying. Just choose a new direction, and just set your intention with the east. I'm feeling like this is a new moon, set your intention, take tiny steps, and eventually, like, little by little. And it's okay if you are like this hedgehog, that wants to go into a ball, but just know that you're working with your brain. You're changing your thinking, you're changing, the programming, the things that have made you who you are up until this point. And now it's time for you to bloom and to really let yourself be seen. And yeah, and then you're going to be guided definitely along the way, through with your angels, like with the angelite right here. And then again, your higher self as well, is calling you. So this is definitely something that is going to bring you into peace, bring you into balance, and really make you feel good about yourself. Because again, that's the balance that we're talking about, is like, we're meant to feel good about ourselves. When we think of like children or babies, they don't come in to the world like self-conscious and feeling less than, or having low self-esteem. They just ask for what they want. There's none of that. It's like they're just in harmony. Even when you look at animals or flowers, or, they don't compare themselves to the next flower that's beside them. They don't compare themselves to the next tree. They don't like a fish doesn't compare itself to an apple. You know what I mean? It's like they just are, and they bloom in their time, whether you're an early bloomer or a late bloomer. And I do have to say that, because things bloom in different seasons. And so, for you, it's your season right now to awaken and to bloom. And so your angels really want to bring in this stability for you, this new stability, this new balance for you, and to really drive forward, and to really drive this forward for you. So it's really about accepting yourself, which is really accepting your gifts, cultivating your gifts, and communing with the spirit, because all of this is like it's going to be through like co-creation. This is something that is done with the spirit, and you're gonna be in harmony and balance with your environment, with people, and I think it's just going to change your experience altogether. So the best of luck to you, and yeah, so I really do hope that you're able to embrace yourself fully, and I hope that this reading was helpful for you. So if you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Take care. Bye. Okay, group 2 with the polychrome jasper. This is your reading on what your spirit guides want you to know at this time. So I moved this eye over here because I just kept getting this this feeling with your reading, like whether it's envy. It went from it being around envy, competition, deception, things like that, to having to do with inner vision, psychic abilities, just this eye, this all-seeing, all-knowing sort of eye, or just a deep, an open third eye. So anyways, that's just, I'm just gonna, just say that for now, but I'm just gonna get into the reading now. Anyway, okay, so what your guides want you to know. All right, where shall we start? So there's a lot of different things. There's like some very, very deep things that I'm going to get into, but I'll just speak on like where they've led me to first, which is about sex. Okay, there's a sex card. It seems a little bit random in the context of everything else, but maybe it's not. So there seems to be some type of message that they want to bring across around. I think it has to do with your beliefs or your ideas, your philosophies around sex, or a partnership with domestic, because we have domestic harmony, we have sex, 44, which is like foundations, and and this part right here about philosophy and air, because I'm getting a lot of air in your reading, so about thoughts, about communication, could be beliefs, philosophies, things like that. So and then here we have lighten up as well. Okay, last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up in reverse. So okay, I'm just going to talk about how I feel. I feel like there's just like tension. There's some type of tension. There's just a lot going on in these cards. Like I almost don't even know where to start. Honestly, it's all over the place. Okay, so there's something going on with sex. Your ideas around sex. Maybe there's something going on with the partnerships, or relationships that you have going on. So they're touching on that. Maybe I'm just going to give you an overview of all the things they're touching on, just so I can sort of move it out of the way, and then I can go one by one after that. So there's also like this big thing about this Lemurian seed codes. So I actually have a Lemurian crystal with me, and I brought it. Let me just take this off. I brought it to just kind of bring it and show you the little, I don't know if you could see the little codes in there. So you have Lemurian seed codes: embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. So, with this crystal, Along with this card, Lost Lands, Soul Memories, and Gifts. You've done this before. So, like, I'm getting this sense that you have some type of codes within your soul memories. So it's almost like, it sounds bizarre, but like you've experienced a past incarnation in Lemuria or Atlantis, or some of these ancient lands, or places where, because here, even and it has to be Lemuria, because I'm really, this mermaid really stands out, which I associate with Lemuria as well. So, and it's like with this crystal, it's like, it holds the codes, like it's, the frequency, and the Lemurians were very, very advanced. They were very advanced psychically. Their third eye was extremely open. Like they were visionaries. So even with this philosophy card right here, their way of thinking was very much influenced by their very active third eye and the visions, and how far ahead that they could see. And they just had like this understanding of life. So I think they even knew before, whatever happened to their civilization, like they knew it was coming. And so there was this, so it's like they sent out certain frequencies into these crystals, these Lemurian crystals, to sort of be these keepers of this frequency. And these are the codes that we're talking about in this reading. And so when I see here about Lost Lands and Soul Memories, it's almost like, it's reminding me of, like activations, like DNA activations. I remember, and I think this is relevant, I remember doing a shamanic journey where, man, I was being activated. And it was such a weird thing. Like I felt like some operation was being done on me. And, the messages I was getting was like, it's like a system or a software upgrade or something like that. And then they were, it was like coding, like a computer. And it was like they were working on me. And after that journey, I felt different, like over the course of some time. And so it's like your guides are really inviting you to, because I am getting a lot of like swords. So like this is like true. So it's really embracing like a sensitivity. Like there's a lot of water here, emotions, even with sex. With the blue and then the green here, with, I'm thinking like the throat chakra, the heart chakra. You have the Queen of Swords here, who is about truth. So like you have a lot of truth that's within you. It seems like your soul is the keeper of a lot of truths. Like these crystals, right? Like these crystals, have information. Even with the polychrome jasper, like that's what it's sort of, referencing, is like, the truth, like the wisdom that's contained in nature. And the fact that I brought up shamanism as well is like to think that everything has consciousness and is able to hold like it's able to hold information. Like with shamans, they journey, you could journey to a tree and, make conscious contact with that tree and receive messages from that tree. And so, the message that I'm getting, for you is that you're going to be receiving messages, but it's going to be through your feelings, clairsentience, with this Queen of Cups, with the air element, empathy. And then with karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. So again, Queen of Swords, truth. We have the Ace of Swords over here in reverse, but it's about truth. You have judgment, calling, awakening, truth. Awakening to the truth of who you are, the wisdom that you have, the truth that is within you. And then, okay, so with karmic board clearing, um, energetic clearing, rewrite your story. So even with these clearings that we're talking about, I'm getting a sense of like water. I think because you have this history in Lemuria, like I'm getting the sense of like clearing these cleansings that need to be with water, and like even if it's a shower and setting your intentions and speaking into the water that you drink, there's like a connection to water, like this mermaid. And maybe that's where the sex thing comes in as well, is like, that sort of touch. It's like it has some way of like sending out these frequencies or these vibrations through you that are going to like um, awaken some of these old gifts, because it's almost like, yeah, it's like some type of psychic ability, some type of psychic, just strong visionary. I think you're a visionary. I think that's what you're. Even here, look at this Three of Wands. Look at with these binoculars, like being able to see very far into the future. It's a visionary with this philosophy, this air element. Even here, like being in this hot air balloon and being able to look down at all that's below from just a higher perspective, or from very, very far away. I'm getting something with luck. What is the luck? Is the luck that, oh, it's almost like there's some type of clearing, again back to this card, that needs to take place, or that is taking place. Uncovering, clearing, starting to, it's almost like you don't have to work so hard. Okay, that's another thing. You don't have to work so hard. Like the truth is within you, you know. I don't know if it's like with this Eight of Pentacles. It's like, I see him just far away from the rest of the people, and with it in reverse, it's like you don't have to work so hard, or it's like you're working hard on the outside, whereas the truth is going to come from within you. It's going to come in through your crown, your upper chakras. It's going to come in through your crown, your third eye, something like that. Through your intentions, with this water, with prayer feather. A lot of this stuff is very, has to do with energies, has to do with frequencies, has to do with, and it has to do with retelling the story. Here again, it's like rewrite your story. And then here we have storyteller. And then you see this fire that's burning inside. It's almost like setting fire to, or to these old stories, these old ideas. Like I'm thinking of, like, when you write, you write, and then you decide to burn it after. So it's like, say you're writing a story, an old story. Maybe this is something that, could be helpful for you. It's like writing down an old story and then burning it, because it's no longer relevant, or and maybe it has to do with some of your ideas around, like, your emotions. Maybe there's some suppression or something that's there with this sex card, with your emotions, because it's really asking, or they're really asking you to embrace some type of it has to be a psychic ability. Your sensitivity, embrace your sensitivity, your empathy, whatever comes up for you, like soul memories. It's going to provide you with this Ace of Pentacles, like opportunities, Um, like you're gonna, if you're really able to tap into whatever these gifts are, and it's going to bring you a lot of luck, a lot of luck, and it's going to really support you with the strength card. It's going to connect you with judgment and the strength card to the wisdom that's within nature, the wisdom that's within you, uh, that's within even your body. Your body's part of nature. This is a very interesting reading. Like I've never done a reading like this before, so I'm sorry if it's not really coming out in the most coherent sort of way. Um, eh, and there's gonna be, I don't know. This is something that I don't think it's gonna be difficult for me to explain it. It's just something that I think your guides want you to explore. Like nobody can tell you what this is. It's like literally you have certain codes that are within you that need to be activated or brought to the light when you um, but it comes through just really embracing like who you are, your sensitivity, your empathy, living in your truth, speaking your truth, not working so hard on the outside, doing the inner work, meditating, um, not really being at odds with the things that come up from within you, right? Because I'm seeing like the Five of Wands, the Five of Wands and the Ace of Swords. When I first started pulling the cards for this, I was also thinking about this, and I was thinking about envy, you know, and there's something about envy as well. With the strength that you have, or the powers that you have, the gifts that you have. And I don't know, where is this? Let me pull a couple more cards because this is really confusing. So what does this envy have to do with? Or please explain. The Star. So the envy has to do with your power, with the truth that you possess, with who you are, the gifts that you have. You know, the fact that like, again, okay, so this has to do with like just the wisdom that you have. It's some deep wisdom, and maybe look into Lemuria and the types of things that they're said to have had. It's a very advanced civilization, and the fact that you're able to, it's almost like you're able to read the wisdom of nature. It's almost like a shaman, honestly. The closest thing I can compare this to is like a shaman who is able to communicate with nature. That is where their wisdom comes in. That is where their healing comes in, and that's where like, okay, there's a lot of water here, a lot of water, more water. So it has to do with it's like a sensitivity as well. So this is a whole new story that's going to come to light for you. It's a whole new story, and I think um, your guides, perhaps this is a little bit all over the place, but your guides really want to bring this to your attention to really get you to focus on your inner truths. Okay, and then start to communicate your truths with this Queen of Swords. because you are a visionary. Like with this philosophy, this air element, there's something going to be very, very advanced in the way that you think. I think that you're going to be an excellent communicator. Not only are you highly sensitive and able to pick up like a shaman would, like pick up on the wisdom of nature, like the intelligence that's within it. You're going to be able to communicate it in such a way that that is very rare, that is very different. But there is a need, like, for you to lighten up in some sort of way, and to just sort of indulge, maybe, in certain pleasures. Like, that's what I'm getting with sex and lighten up. Is for your body to feel good in order to unlock some of these codes. It's like certain your energy, your body has to be within a certain frequency in order for these things to be revealed, right? And it's going to be like out with an old story and in with a new. And again, with the stars, like, you're probably a star seed and very connected to it's okay. So again, let me go back to that shamanic journey. This is what I was talking about earlier. This stuff is very mysterious. It was honestly sounds really insane. I don't even like telling people about this, but you know how I was saying, like, there was an operation that was done on me, and it was like, I heard that it was like, like it's like a coding upgrade, so it's recoding. It's like a computer or something, and it was done by like an extraterrestrial of some sort, and it was, it's from like from a certain star. I know it was associated with a star. So, even with these ancient civilizations, these advanced civilizations, there was probably a lot of connection to the stars, right? And I think that you are a star seed, and that you do have certain things like in your DNA that are looking to be activated, and looking to be expressed. And it's, yeah, you're just being called. You're being called to it. Okay. So, there are going to be a lot of competing ideas maybe around you, people, whatever the case is, but you're being encouraged and told to really focus on your own inner truth, and to just don't, with the Seven of Swords in reverse is like, don't trip yourself up, right? Don't with what other people think. Okay, like even me right now, I think I even felt awkward, like, should I share this about these ETs and like these activations and this recoding? It's just like, I know people might hear that and think it's really bizarre, but I know what happened. Okay. So, like, don't deceive yourself. Don't deny your own truth. Okay. So, like, this stuff is very, very true, right? So, yeah, even at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Chariot in reverse, which is like being indecisive, being unsure, right? Because again, when we're dealing with the mind, because you are such a good communicator, I'm getting that you're a very excellent communicator, and you have a way with like logic and communicating and expressing things, even though it may be things of an emotional nature, or not a logical, something that's outside of that. You have a certain way of communicating it. And I think I lost my train of thought. Ugh. With being indecisive. Okay, this is hurting my head. This reading is literally hurting my head. This is advanced stuff, okay? This is very advanced stuff, but you're capable of doing it. That's all I know. But this is probably part of the truth, it will be revealed to you in due time, okay? So all the best of luck to you. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Like, I don't know. I feel a bit weird with it, but again, I think that's the energy here, with this indecision, indecisiveness, unsure, uncertainty. But yeah, like, it's confirmed. Your angels are, and these are angels, because this reading was supposed to be about spirit guides, but these are angels that are sending this message. So this work is done with the angels, you know. I almost heard like in collaboration. You know how, oh my God, you know how there'll be like a production of some sort or a movie and they'll be like, oh, in collaboration with. So it's like these star beings in collaboration with angels. Okay. Yeah. Man. So that's Lemuria for you. And yeah, so I just cut the deck right here. It's just, again, more indecision. The Two of Swords. Anyway, all the best of luck to you. If you like this video, please give me a like. I think that you should give me a like for trying to read this. It was quite interesting and quite challenging, to be honest. But it is what it is. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye. Okay, welcome Group 3 to your reading with this Lapis Lazuli, what your spirit guides want you to know right now. So what do your spirit guides want you to know right now? Okay, so, the card that you chose was discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to, okay? And I think the discipline that they're referring to here refers to discipline in a spiritual, to your spiritual growth. Here we have the student card, right? And it's so interesting too, because here it's like a lot of nature with sacred mountain, walking in beauty, grandmother earth. And then here with the student, you have literally like a tree reading a book, right? So it's almost like the sense of like learning from nature, not necessarily from nature, but from being in nature, like the sacred mountain, from being still in nature, maybe by grounding yourself in nature, by appreciating the beauty of nature. And, there are things to be learned in nature as well. So your guides are really calling you to be more disciplined in the area of whether it's study or just making it a habit and a routine of being out in nature. So with the Sacred Mountain card as well, this card is, it's about, especially with choose a new direction, it's about getting a sense of a vision for yourself, for your life. And so with the Sacred Mountain, it reminds me of the Hermit card in the tarot, where it's like really going inward. Like mountains have this like sense of like solitude, spending time alone, so that this vision can become clear. This calling can be very clear. Like even back here, we have mountains. I have to plug in my, just give me a sec. I have to plug in my laptop. Yeah. So just really getting a sense of, what this calling is, right? Because, you are being told to choose a new direction. Choosing a new direction. Oh, we have the Hermit card right here as well. It almost seems like there is something within you that with this Hermit in reverse, it's like you haven't taken the time or made it a routine or a discipline, or an active commitment to studying, to spending time on your inner reflection, inner teachings, inner work, and on like your purpose, your calling, and maybe you're at that stage where it's really about, you haven't, it's like that in between stage, like you get the sense that you haven't quite left what it was that isn't really satisfying to you, or you're receiving this calling, but you're not sure, it isn't quite crystal clear for you, which is what I'm getting here with the Seven of Cups. It's like, well, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? I don't really know what it is, but you're looking out and you're like trying to get a sense of direction. You're trying to get, like see where the potential is, like, and like I'm just also getting a sense too that like maybe with this Hierophant in reverse and this Devil, because the Hierophant is, like a spiritual. This has to do with spirituality with these types of cards, and it's like a very untraditional spiritual. It isn't like the standard religious establishment type of process of, okay, follow these rules, do this, and that, you know, and your purpose is because I don't know why I feel the need to say this. Like in some religions, it's like your purpose is to spread the word of God and to follow this and practice this. It's almost like the calling is already made and outlined for you. Whereas with this Hierophant card and this Devil card, it's like with this snake as well. It's like you're almost being invited, or there's like this temptation to eat from this apple. Like it's like the apple, Adam and Eve. Okay, I can't, don't quote me on the whole story. Okay, I know it's a very well known story, but it's like eating from the tree, the knowledge tree or something, eating an apple. Like what's that story? If somebody knows the story, please leave the comments, like leave it in the comments about, it's the tree, the apple is to get knowledge, hidden knowledge of some sort. Anyway, I'm associating that story that I have in my head with this snake and this Hierophant in reverse. It's like this temptation to seek your own inner knowledge, your own inner connection by being a student, by having this discipline, this devotion, this internal reflection, like this hermit, going into this meditative state, finding stillness, really being in touch with your emotions and your feelings, and really feeling your way through this process, and really letting go of all, and it is about really lifting the veil, and getting rid of the illusions with the Seven of Cups here, and lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go, and I think that, that has to do with, here we have wise leadership. Maybe it's even questioning again, because with this Hierophant card, I'm getting, and this wise leadership, and everything must go, is like even questioning authority, questioning establishments, questioning the structures that we live in, questioning religion, just questioning everything that, we think that we may know. So, I think your guides are really encouraging you to do that. It's literally about questioning everything to really answer this call, because it's almost like this call is going to have such a big, profound effect on your entire life. Your purpose is going to require you to change so many things, your understanding about just everything. It's going to be like, I'm almost feeling like a tower from the tarot, which is a complete upheaval, a complete change of your way of thinking, your way of being, the structures that are, the foundations of your life, and then completely having a big change with respect to that, and then even with this Devil card, like it's the same with, like, I'm taking this as things that you have such a strong grip and a strong hold on you. So whether that is religion, I don't know why I keep wanting to throw religion in there, whether it's religion, whether it's like ideas, that have been ingrained in you from such a young age, or societal expectations. It's all of these things that hold us through fear, right? Because even this, when I think of this Devil card and fear and the stronghold of these things that hold us in fear and keep us in these loops and keep us repeating these patterns and keep us from really fulfilling or being able to really feel our vision, to see what it could be. Because it's like, if our mind is saying, well, that's not possible, I can't do that, I can't do this, it's like that fear kind of keeps us away from from really seeing the potential of it and seeing that it is possible. If we think, oh well, I'm going to go to hell I'm not going to be able to live, I'm not going to be able to feed myself, I'm not going to be able to this, so it keeps us tied to the places that where spirit's trying to cut those cords. And so, I'm just getting a really big contrast between this fear and this devil card, and the sacred mountain, the walking in beauty, and grandmother earth. This is such a open, spacious, even the way here with lifting the veil, like how she's opening the curtains, it's like a peacefulness, a serenity, stillness again with be still. The tree is the ultimate, like, sort of form of stillness. Like, it's reminding me of a shamanic journey that I did where I decided to visit the tree in my front yard and just really connect to its energy. And it was just so still. It was like the ultimate stillness, right? And so it's like I'm getting this, like, finding stillness, and then the teachings that come through the stillness. And through that stillness, it's like the stillness of the mind, right? It's like no fear, just supported like a tree, like firm, stable, rooted, which is like grandmother earth, like being really rooted in the earth, right? And I think that, through this discipline, that, your guides are really asking you to make commitments to this sort of practice of being in nature. There's a really strong nature vibe here. There's going to be your talents, your gifts, or your abilities. Maybe you're going to be a teacher of some sort. I don't know. Whatever wisdom that comes through. With Uranus in reverse, it's like it's going to be something new. It's going to be something innovative. And it's like some newfound knowledge that's going to come through for you. So this innovation, or this, it may not be something that you're going to teach, but it could just be a new way of being that is just very innovative for you. Not innovative, but just new. Oh, when I was like putting out the cards, what song? I heard a Chris Brown song. Oh my God. It was like, something about, they want you on some new-ish. Like, that's I forget what the song is called. But like, your guides want you on some new-ish, that's pretty much the message. Like, which is, it's like, and it's like some new knowledge, some new-ish, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be some good-ish too, right? But it requires commitment and discipline on your part. And this is the type of journey that is going to be like a lifelong one, where it's like, it's one that it's just going to keep unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And there's a lot of wisdom that's going to be gained through this process for you. And solitude. I'm getting solitude with this Queen of Cups, and this Hermit. It requires solitude as well, right? Because like the Queen of Cups is very in touch with her emotions, and her emotions are very internal within her. And it's like, even I'm getting the sense of like the subconscious emotions, subconscious, deep, with this mermaid as well. And it's going to unlock some new, this Page of Pentacles is in reverse, right? So with the Page of Pentacles, it's like the person who gets this new pentacle, this new opportunity, this new thing to bring into manifestation. And with it in reverse, it's like, it's almost like it needs to be unlocked. So whatever this is that this discipline and this approach is going to reveal to you, it's going to take you into a new direction that is going to provide you with an opportunity to manifest something. something that is going to put you in a position of leadership, especially with, wise leadership. And it's going to unlock, so same with this wise leadership, it's going to unlock just this power, this wisdom, change with the 14, a lot of change in yourself, maybe in the structures that were in your life, maybe other sorts of structures. So with discipline, it's about commitment. It's about developing certain rituals, patterns that you do day in, day out, and so it's really about taking that action on a daily basis, or whatever basis, but it's that commitment. So there's definitely some type of calling for you to manifest something in the physical that is going to result out of this endeavor, right? And it's something that's going to awaken you, definitely. It's going to be an awakening for you. And, each pile has to do with awakening, actually. And with I'm getting version 2.0, some new-ish version 2.0. So, it's definitely something that is going to manifest with the solar eclipse. In reverse, it's something that's going to manifest hard and heavy, with the sun backed by a new moon, a new beginning, something that's going to manifest. Yeah. So I think your manifestation abilities are going to also go up. I just getting that right now is strong manifestation, and that is why, one of the reasons why everything unaligned must go, because it's like you don't want to be manifesting things that aren't meant to stay. You want to be manifesting the new-ish that your guides are talking about. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful for you. If you liked it, please give me a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, welcome group 4 with the Bloodstone, and the card that you picked was Manifestation in reverse. So, what your spirit guides want you to know at this time. Because this is Manifestation in reverse. Okay, well, first of all, you're a healer. You may probably already know that by now. And it seems like you are trying to bring some stuff into manifestation, okay? And you're at that stage where you've set your intentions, but now it's move beyond intention to belief, okay? So there's other messages here, but that's a big one, is moving into belief, right? So like, what differentiates intention from belief? With your intention, here with sync with the moon, right? And so now I'm thinking of like the different moon cycles. So like the new moon is the intention. So so first of all, this spread right here has a lot of here it says cosmic knowledge. So like I'm getting like a witch. I'm getting, someone who is, very familiar with the moon cycles. Maybe you're not familiar, but maybe this is part of some of the messages that they're trying to get through to you. Is like here with the 8 of Wands in reverse, it's really talking about slowing down and syncing with the moon. So really, bringing your manifestations and syncing them with the moon. So the new moon is intention, the waxing crescent, start to take action, start to take steps towards whatever goal that it is that you are trying to manifest and co-create, right? And at some point throughout this this cycle, you're gonna be pushed, some limitations or certain things are gonna like push back at you. So, this card right here says that when that does occur, limitations inspire innovation, right? And then also know that, you are co-creating with spirit. Sometimes certain things don't work out the way that we had anticipated. anticipated or we had, set out to, because there's another avenue to go through, or there's something better, or there's just there's just another, spirit just has a different way of going about it. And so, I think it's really important. I think over here, when I'm looking at the Ten of Wands and I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles, right? Okay, and we can add the Knight of Wands here. So it's like with these three cards, I'm getting from your guides that Spirit is really going to bring in people to help you on this journey. So just keep an open mind. So they're really going to help you drive your success forward, drive whatever your manifestation forward, and really join you on this journey. So be ready to this isn't a burden. This isn't something that you have to carry all by yourself, right? And so maybe that's where the belief factor kicks in, right? Because maybe that's the part where it's like, well, I don't really know how exactly this is all going to go down, so how can I fully believe it? But the fact is like, with cosmic knowledge, it's like, the universe knows how it's going to go down, okay? You do not have to know how it goes down, and there's this level of like trusting and believing in it. And just going with it, and just knowing that you are co-creating. You're not creating on your own, right? So there are going to be people that are going to be brought into this journey with you to help you and to work with you. So there is like a sense of, I don't want to use the word compromise, right? You have the Five of Wands here as well. So this is about like, it isn't going to be something where you are competing with these people, or they have different, you guys all have a common goal, right? Maybe what they're trying to do is slightly different from what you're doing. Like, okay, so for example, these three guys right here, right? So this one's the artist, like he's doing his thing. This one's like the priest. He wants to make sure, like I'm thinking of the Rider-Waite deck with the Three of Pentacles. Like one is like, say like the Michelangelo, like the artist that's like creating the artwork. The other person is like the priest who wants to make sure that the work is in alignment with like the spiritual beliefs. Like it's what's the word called? Not in alignment, but like it's a representation. It's a good, accurate representation for him. That is his most important criteria. That it represents exactly what the church is about, or whatever it is. Whereas the artist is about, making it the most beautiful, like staying, making sure that it has this like artistic integrity, whatever. And then the other person is, say it's like, the state, the king. He just wants it to be this magnificent thing that, everyone's going to look and be like, oh, wow, look at how amazing that work of art is, and it's going to bring him some type of pride, some type of boost, something that's going to like, be a showstopper for him, like something, what I'm saying? So they each may have a different goal, and not goal. They all have the same goal, which is to get this work done. But they all have a slightly different motivation for it, And, sometimes they can be a little bit at odds with one another. Like, so there might be a little bit of sacrifice here and there. But I'm just getting that, this burden isn't meant for you to carry all by yourself. Like, Spirit will bring in people. And the universe will assist you in this. Like, even with this tower right here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm almost getting, I'm getting like, like those like Disney princesses that are like Rapunzel, who's like locked in a tower by herself and she needs somebody to come and rescue her. I'm getting like, no, it's not going to be like that. Like, it's not going to be like they're going to come and rescue you. They're going to come and work with you, right? And they're going to be driven and motivated just like you are. So it isn't entirely your burden to carry, and it isn't going to be competitive. It's going to be collaborative, right? And so they're going to help propel this forward for you, right? So whatever this is that you're manifesting, and I think a big part of this is like it must be work as a healer of some sort of capacity or something. But there's also a message here about with balance and the Lover's card. Like when I was placing these down, I really got this sense of like being integrated, and maybe that's what manifestation, like I'm getting this as connected to you manifesting, because as a healer, as somebody who seems like an intuitive or someone who's very in touch with cosmic knowledge or these types of arts, there's a big element of like receptivity and femininity. Like I'm thinking the high priestess and the divine feminine, right? And so it's really about like the feminine aspect. And with this card, Mawu Lisa, balance, and the Lover's card, I'm getting like this integration of the masculine and the feminine into one, right? Because like I think even now I'm thinking of is it Shiva and Shakti? Like it's like, with the creation of the world, it's like you have the masculine and the feminine that come together, and like the masculine is like, say like the pure consciousness, and then the feminine is like what's birthing it through. Or it could be, you could place it in different conceptions or ideas, but the idea is like this integration, right, of the masculine principle and the feminine principle, and that is going to help bring the manifestation into being. And here you could see that this individual here is, half sun, half moon, half masculine, half feminine, and you could just see it, like, you know what I mean? You could just see the feminine and the masculine. So there's really this need to like bring into balance these two energies within yourself. And it doesn't necessarily even just have to be, and in here again we see with cosmic knowledge the sun and the moon, and it doesn't even have to be just within yourself. It's like bringing it into balance, right? In terms of like what I discussed earlier about being in sync with the moon, right? Just being in sync with these cycles, like the sun and then the moon. Ooh, another thing I got. Right now we're in, at the time that I'm recording this, we're in Aries season, right? So you can sync with the moon, right? Like the new moon, intentions, and just, following the patterns of the cycles of the moon. But then you can also factor in the cycles of the sun, right? Like, so right now we're in Aries, right? It's a time to push forward, a time to go, that sort of thing, right? It's a new, initiation, pushing forward. And so sort of like keeping in mind that like, there's this sort of momentum, like that's what I'm getting with this, is like, there's a sort of momentum that, that you're working with. You aren't in this castle just waiting for something to happen, right? This is a process that you're involved in, and you're, what's the word? Not blending in with. You're riding the wave of these cycles. So it's really telling you, your guides are really telling you, like, slow down. If there's something missing, well, with this I'm getting, it's the belief aspect. So belief in the universe, and belief in these cycles, in the seasons. I'm getting the elements too. It's funny, it's so weird. Today it's raining right now, right? So this morning I was talking to somebody, and I could hear the wind, and it's raining, and I'm like, and I kept getting all these downloads. And I kept saying I was talking to my friend, and I'm like, and I just started downloading and channeling a bunch of stuff for him. And I was like, man, this is coming in really, really strong right now. And I'm like, I swear it's because it's raining and it's this peaceful vibe. And I feel like I need to drink a hot chocolate. Even though, like, in my mind, it's like, I want to record a video, I want to do this. And it's like the Aries thing just kind of coming in and just pushing through. Anyway, I bring that all up to say, I almost lost my train of thought there. But it's like, even, with the fire and the water, like all of these things, like as time goes on, like all of these things do play a role. Okay. Once we start paying, just start paying attention. Okay. That's what they're trying to say. Pay attention to the cycles of the moon, to, where the sun is, you know, if it's raining outside, and just start to like take mental notes of, how you feel, what's going on, and start working with that. That's how it's like using that momentum, flowing with the tide as opposed to going against it. You're not by yourself, right? Like in this isolated thing where now you're trying to create something. It's like, it's like it's here to help and support you. And then also with this limitations inspire innovations, I'm also getting here too is like, if something's not working out, if something's not moving forward, like obviously like it's kind of meant to be that way, but it's also a way for, maybe it's something that you need to let go of, or it's something that you need to create. Like you need to think outside the box. You need to think outside the box and be open to what other solutions there may be for it, and maybe I'm just getting also like patience for some reason, being patient with it. Like the ideas will come, or like the solutions will come at the right time, in the right, not season, cycle. It will come at the right time. I'm just getting like you're really in tune. Like I get the sense that you're really in tune, whether you know it or not. Like I think some of you do know that you're healers, and that you're very in tune with and sensitive to what's going on around you. I'm getting like the chakra system right now in my mind. I'm seeing like, you're very rooted. Like I'm seeing from like the bottom going up, like you're very connected to this cosmic knowledge. So it's like you have, your root, your sacral, your solar plex, your heart, your throat, your third eye, crown, all open. And so you're connected to this cosmic knowledge, and these things like around. You're very energetically connected, like how we're talking about like the cycles and the seasons and the elements and all that type of stuff. But now for the manifestation to come through, it's like you gotta be, how do I explain? It's like now you have it going this way, now you gotta bring it down this way, right? So going from the crown, the idea, to your third eye, your vision, being able to envision it, your imagination, expanding it, down to your throat, like start to communicate about it, like collaborating with it, like start telling people about it, start trying to take action to move forward with it. Then down to your heart, which is just, the belief. And I feel like belief is I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting the belief is in the heart. It's just that believing. And then your solar plex, which would be like, the masculine coming in as well, like where it's like this determination, this pushing forward, taking actions, and then you go to the sacral, which is like, and anyways, going all the way down to the root until you root it down, all the way, right? But then also slowing down. And, maybe there's this sense of like impatience that I'm going to bring up. Like, and the only reason why I'm bringing up impatience is not that I think that you're impatient. I just think that with this manifestation, sometimes it's like, we want the manifestation to happen. We want it to come through. We want it to happen. And, especially here with the Knight of Wands, right? It's like, come on, like, it came in strong. We want it, but it's like things take time, right? And so that has to do, that's where belief comes in as well. Because sometimes when we're impatient or we want things to happen right away, it's almost like it sends out this signal or this frequency of we don't really believe. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you know for certain something is going to happen at the right time, whatever, you're not going to be there like, okay, where is it? It's like you're just going to know, like, okay, for example, like, I just thought of Amazon making a delivery. Like, if it says my delivery is coming on, Sunday, I'm not going to spend the week thinking, oh, okay, well, when's it coming? Or like feeling this, or even if I'm not thinking it, just having this restlessness of like, oh, what should I do? Or like, I don't know, maybe that's not the best example, but hopefully it illustrates the point that I'm trying to make with belief and then being patient. It's like, if you know something's coming, you're just like, okay, well, it's coming then. Even if you're working on a project, for example, and you know that it's due on this day, and that's probably not a good example either. I can't really think of a good example right now. Spirit, give me an example of patience or being impatient, or one or the other. I think when we are impatient, it's just it makes us act a little bit more. It pushes it just. Okay, here's an example. When you're baking something, okay. I just thought of it. Like, say you're supposed to bake something on low, right? But you just want to hurry up. Like, you're like, and I had a partner that was like this. He's like, I'm hungry though. And he would like crank it up. I'm like, you're going to ruin the meal, And it's like baking something that requires you to bake it at a certain temperature. But because you were impatient about it, you turned it all the way up, and now the top is cooked, but the inside is not cooked, kind of thing. You wanted the microwavable version of it, and I know that's a different example because it's like having to do with like food, but it does have to do with patience. Anyway, that wasn't the best example, but hopefully you guys understand the point that I'm trying to make, is that the same way that this awakening probably happened in you, where you started to really open up to this connection to the universe, is the same way that these ideas are going to have to come down that same process into the earth, into manifestation, right? So it does take time, and it does follow a certain pattern and a certain intelligence behind it. So just so yeah, so just hang in there, and yeah, but I'm definitely getting a big thing of belief, and belief has to do with really taking action, synchronizing, being patient, balancing, not just balancing the masculine and the feminine, and knowing when to push, when to oh, another thing I got with this is sometimes like we live in a culture, I think too, where it's like go 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 go, and there's this sense that like, oh, you got to be on, you got to be going, like that's the way that we manifest, right? Or that's the way we get things done. And I think with this rattling and this snake, I'm getting like having to shed this old skin, right? Now that you've sort of had this realization and this awakening, or whatever this was, and now you're trying to come back down to manifest. It's like a shedding of these old ways of being, these old beliefs of like having to be in the masculine at all times in order to, because sometimes it's like spirit wants to or your guides want to get you to slow down and come back into this feminine, so that they can push information to you, right? so then you can turn around and go ahead and then push forward in the right direction, right? So it is important, like even with like the cycles of the moon, to have those times of rest, or because it's like having that receptivity is also a big part of manifestation, because then otherwise it's like, well, what are you manifesting? Right? It's like you're co-creating. It's not just you doing it on your own. So this is a lesson that I also had to learn, because I remember when I first started to realize, like, oh, like spirit's telling me to stop and slow down, like I would get so emotional about it. I'm like, no, but I have to go. And then it was like this idea of like, well, do you really believe? And it was like my guides were saying like, no, like we have to get this information to you, and like if you get upset about it, it's only going to prolong it, because now your emotions are off, and then we have to get you to calm down. And then I go through the same cycle of up and down, but it's like I was getting rid of this old programming and this old ideas that I had to be go, 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 go. If not, then I'm being lazy. It was just, I don't know. It was just emotional. It was emotional when I had to slow down. Like I just really, I'm one of those people that struggle with that. So maybe this is something that could be relevant for some of you guys, is finding this balance of the masculine and the feminine, and then knowing that, like, the feminine and the receptivity is also very, very important as you're manifesting. Because sometimes when we hear manifestation, when I used to hear manifestation, I used to think like, okay, it's time to go. Now it's time to make it happen. It's time to go. And with this Knight of Wands in reverse, it's like, no, like you gotta slow it down. And if you're not open to receive because you want to go, there's something in you that has like this type of insecurity, or this fear, or this impatience, or this lack of belief in some sort of way, to that, and not belief in like trusting the universe that you're not alone, and that it's here to support you, and that everything will start to move together in support of you. So that is the message that I'm getting from your spirit guides. I hope it was helpful for you. If you like this video, please leave me a like, and subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. Okay, so take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.